YouTube. Yeah. Video games are cool. Yeah. We video gaming. Yeah, we video gaming. Should I post on that tweet? You know what I hate about like some tweets is like they start advertising and promoting shit on their tweet that just starts blowing up. I don't hate that. I get it. But I feel like I don't... Should I do that? Should I be like, oh, here's the game, by the way. Or you can pirate it, I guess, if you wanted to. That's aura points, right? Is that aura points? Here's the game if you want to pick it up or, I guess, pirate it. Aura is when you tell people they can pirate your game. Apparently, that's the thing nowadays. Yeah. If only the spring sale was on right now. This would have been the perfect time for that tweet. Oh well. Anyways, are we live on YouTube? I just have to double check. Yes. Good. Yo, it's still getting likes. How the fuck is people? How are people seeing this fucking joke? Oh shit. By the way, Scotty, I'm glad you didn't like I think Scotty gets my moderation vibes. I don't ban people that pirate the game unless they start like begging and being really fucking annoying. Like if someone pirates a game, whatever, dude. What the fuck? What? As long as they're not being an asshole about it or something. I just don't care anymore. Is that being defeatist? Is that being a defeatist? Kobe. It's being realistic? Yeah, I don't know. After the 13th time I contacted Google to try to remove pirating websites from their search index, I just kind of fucking gave up. I was just like, you know what? I don't have a fucking huge lawyer. I'm not gonna waste my money on that shit. Because even like AAA companies get pirated. Like who cares anymore? Like whatever. What am I to do? What am I to do? I pirate tools to make a game? Shh, don't tell anybody that, man. What you doing? Shh. Mods? Mods, redact that message. What? Where? Struggling with Vulcan 8 to 12 hours a day? That is your punishment. Your punishment is 5,000 hours in the Vulcan caves. I don't even know what a Vulcan is. Is it a bird? Oh man, the trees look so nice from here. Like fucking the flat trees. Oh shit, I love my flat trees. You know, we could slap a normal map on this fucker. We could if we really want to. But why would we? Think about it. Why would we?
First Knine lull, first Knine lull, first Knine lull, first Knine happy eye. First Knine wow, first Knine wow, first Knine wow.
Wow. Knight, thank you for the fucking 41 months, man. Hope you're doing well. Why am I lagging? Help! Guys, wait, what's actually going on with my computer? Are you guys seeing this shit? GPU's dying. Time to set up the 5070. Don't say that, man. Dude, if my GPU dies after like not even having it for that long, I'm switching back to UE4 because the last time my GPU died, we worked on the zombie survival project, that little trailer thing. That was in UE5, and then my GPU died. If my GPU dies yet again, I'm blaming this shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna pull a. I'm blaming this shit. No, I'm not on the 5070. It's still in the box. Yes, I am embarrassed to admit that it's still in the box. Yes. Never had a GPU die? You're a lucky man. Either you've switched your GPU before it would start dying, or all you do is open Excel sheets, and I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know. Those Excel spreadsheets, pretty optimized. Yeah. Yeah. My GPU died after like something like 7 years. My first GPU that died was a very old AMD, and the capacitors started fucking popping. And every time I heard that noise from my computer, I was like, what's that noise? Up until I think the 6th time, where it was the final capacitor, or it was a capacitor. It's like one of those cylindrical things. Until the last moment where I heard a pop, and then my display completely went out back in that day. So that was probably the first instance that died. That might have, you know what? Actually, it might have been my GTX 550 Ti that had that happen to it, or the AMD, but I'm pretty sure it's the AMD. Like, very old ass Radeon graphics card. Then the 1080 died, but that was after like 10 plus years of use. So honestly, rest in peace, 1080. You were an absolute beast of a graphics card, and to this day, I would say still a beast of a graphics card. Now I got the 3070 Ti, I think. Oh, after my 550, I had a 780. Did the 780 die? I don't think the 780 died, actually. I think I just ended up upgrading it to a 1080 because the 780 wasn't enough. If I remember correctly. I think. All right, anyways, let's get to work. It's time to get some work done. I think you're good for a few more years with a 3070 if you don't abuse it. I'm already abusing it. I have UE5 open. No, okay. Jokes aside, I do think something is haunted about this software. Either that or writer. I don't know, but is it even possible for you to make your GPU die like that's on the driver's software? The driver's fault, not software? Yeah, I don't know these days. You know how NVIDIA is these days. NVIDIA. Oh, the bastards. The bastards. Wait, how long has my computer been on for? Performance tab. Uptime. 54 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 hours, 27 days. Huh. Might be time for a restart one of these days. I've been putting my computer on sleep these days. Usually I would have been like turning it off and then turning it back on, but Lately, I've just been putting it on sleep. All right, anyways, let's put the toilet in here and let's get started on the toilet. Bro, my stomach is feeling real weird right now, I won't lie. Stomach is feeling mighty weird. Oh shit, I put the toilet in the wrong level. There should be the toilet in here now. Yep. All right, all right, all right. We got ourselves the toilet. So, few things we need to do with the toilet. We need to turn it off. I think right now it is automatically setting itself to active. So let's turn that off. So we should see the toilet be empty on start. Where is the end state? Multi-set completed state. Server reduce health value. Health negative 150. Why is it negative 150 specifically? It's a very odd number. And there's also a do once in here. So, all right. Reset spawn for plunger, I guess. This stream is sponsored by Eris. This stream is actually sponsored by nothing, unfortunately. It's kind of sad. Dead streamer. Dead streamer, Sag. Where's the damn event? Where the fuck I am? Wait, it's not in here. It's not even... Oh, we have literally nothing started for when the task begins. As a matter of fact, we literally have nothing for it. It should be... Yeah, event maintenance task activated. Wowee. My streamer is so broke and cooked. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to act like the other streamers in this platform that say they're poor as fuck when they're making 500K a month. I am doing pretty well right now, and it's a privilege to be in the position I am in. All right. Good. Good we got that out of the way. In this economy, based on the fact I'm doing pretty okay, that is a privilege for sure. Okay, where's the part where the toilet needs to be activated, and where's the part where we deactivate it? You're truly a brave soul for saying that out loud. Yeah, I don't know why these streamers act like they're so broke. What are they fucking doing with their money? So you're a millionaire? No, I am not a millionaire. I am not a millionaire. I'm just doing okay. I'm doing good. I can buy food in Canada, in Toronto. That says something. No, I'm not a billionaire. Chat. If I was a billionaire, I would have... I don't know, actually. Maybe a nicer microphone? I'd have 16 guitars in my background. Would I still be making games? Yeah, I think so. That just confirms that you're a millionaire then? I'm not a million... Currently streaming from his yacht? I fucking hate boats. Why the fuck would I want to buy a boat? 16 monitors, 6 consoles, 3 cats, 2 dogs. Where am I? Where the fuck am I? So we need to hide the water. We need to hide the water. Okay, we need to hide the water. The water needs to be hidden by default. So let's set hidden in game to true. If the task is active though, hidden in game to false. Yes, yes. And then let's see if it happens. I don't think it will, but, you know. Wait, can it even be set to active? Hold on, I gotta check the defaults. Valid task is set to true. Yes, it can be set, actually. I don't know what current task is doing in here. There's a current task value in here. Does this get set by the system? Oh, it resets it back to power outage. Uh-oh. Actually, I don't think that matters. I think that's just the null value. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. What brand of GPUs do you buy, by the way, so I can avoid them? I used to buy EVGA, which, in my opinion, I think was some of the best. These my most recent ones were EVGA, if I remember correctly. Now I'm buying MSI. MSI, RTX, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with this MSI. I think it's just... I think my weird computer fuckery is because I haven't completely reinstalled Windows. I think that's most of where my some of the weird stuff happens with my computer. But yeah, EVGA doesn't do NVIDIA GPUs now. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't buy EVGA anymore, because they literally don't make any NVIDIA GPUs anymore. I don't think they... I don't know what they're doing these days. I don't know. I'm not sure what their business is these days. I'm sure they're making more money because, you know... AI. What a stupid timeline we're in. Let's see if it will set the toilet. Oh yeah, look at that. We have a toilet clog. It probably should make like an idle noise when it's clogged. Also, we should probably spawn a plunger next to the toilet. Do we make it so players have to find their own plunger, or should we provide a plunger for them? What do you guys think? Or the rats? We're going to be working on that today so they spawn in. Seems they do mouse and power supplies now. Uh-oh. There's 2 in here. And the Tic Tac is stuck in the ground. Whatever you do, do not get near that fucker. Yeah, I think... I feel like we should supply a plunger. Bro, I'm... like, cause, like, what if you don't find any plungers? Let's make it so there is a 60... Let's make it so there's a 70% chance. Let's make it so there's a 75% chance of a plunger spawning next to it. Otherwise, no plunger spawns next to it. What do you guys think? Thoughts? Wait, hold on. Maybe we can find one in one of these briefcases. Nope. I do really have to make this a lot better. I'm sure this is going to make some people very sick. Great. No plungers. They have to buy one at the maintenance closet. I feel like then we're forced to have like a shop so you can like purchase items. And then they get like dropped off on the train or something. The power goes out again. Yeah, so I guess the toilet's just clogged forever. I think it should have a 70% chance of spawning a hold on. Oh, hold on. I got a phone call. Give me a second. Hello. Sorry. I had a important call. Hello. My bad. How long have you guys been sitting here for? Nice. Exclamation mark allegations. Okay, don't write that. Okay, mods? Guys, I'm telling you, that coffee ruined the entire day. Random phone call and everything. Like, it's crazy, man. Anyways, sorry, my bad. Welcome back to the stream. It's like we just started the stream back up again. It's all back. How do you do? What'd I miss? That phone call took a lot longer than it was meant to be. It was meant to be like 5 minutes, and then it ended up being like 20, I think. Was I gone for 20 minutes? There's no way I was gone for 20. I was gone for 20 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, well, let's get this toilet working, I guess, then. What was the last thing I was talking about? Bro wants us to die of old age. Okay, listen here, motherfucker, okay? Don't get so crazy, okay? Listen. All right, listen, okay? I want to give this a different material so that I know it's just a spawn point kind of thing. There we go. The magical godly plunger. Yes. Sorry I took so long, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Nathan, thanks for the raid, man. Perfect timing. I was gone for like 20 minutes. Hey, perfect timing. Look at it. Look, it's the godly plunger. The godly plunger. It's one of the best. It's the best plunger around. Has there been any good music while I was gone, at least? It's Timothy Chalamet's career? Damn. I don't keep up with the Timothy of Chalamet. Timothy. Is server. Then let's do a check. Wait. Bool. Let's do a 75% chance of spawning. Actually. Yeah. 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 Item pickup plunger, spawn location, plunger spawn. Yes, we're dealing with toilets. Yeah, I'm a bit of a plumber now. Some might say I'm a Mario, but don't say that because that's legally going to fuck me. Don't do that. Please. Just the terrifying sound of my own thoughts. What are you thinking of? Oh, really? A plunger just spawns right behind? Is this a fucking joke? Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. 75% chance, huh? 75% chance of spawning the We're gonna have to raise that number. We gotta bump it up. That's fucking crazy. 85% chance of spawning the plunger. Otherwise, it's gone. How about, you know what? Let's go crazy with it. 88%. 12% chance that the plunger does not spawn, and then you gotta find your own. All right, so now the toilet is clogged. Let's drag the plunger in. It's not making a sound. Guys? Guys, bad news. Guys, very bad news. We have very bad news on the horizon. He broke everything. It's over. Brother, hey. Shh. Shh. Okay, is it the collision? What did I do? So, Krim, what are your thoughts on ballet and opera? I don't know. Are we now the plungee or the plunger? One would assume that we are the plungee using the plunger. One could say, yes, one could say. Is this a relative location issue or a component velocity issue? And can I attach the plunger when it's not even active? Okay, good, 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 good. First test done. Can I use my friends as a plunger? It's ill-advised by the company to use your friend or another employee as a plunger. 223. Less than 30. Wait. What? Why is it 223 as the relative location to the toilet? Am I reading this shit right? What? This doesn't make any sense. This is relative location. So relative to... Oh, the plunger isn't attached to the toilet. But still, it's the default scene route. I don't understand. So what if I attach the plunger to the toilet? That might break the plunger, by the way. All right, okay, let's test this out. 238. It's still... Dude, what? So... It would be awesome to know why this number changed. I understand the toilet is 197 units up. Is it really, okay, maybe this relative location is not actually relative. And this is bullshit. And I'm really pissed off. And so... Fuck me, I guess. Okay, let's do this. We'll split this. And then we'll plus 30 to it. And then this is the actual location. Alright, fine. Alright, fine. Alright, fine. See if that works. Up sound? Hey, boss just got back from float therapy. Ah, yes, float therapy. Is that like where you float? In water? Or various other liquids slash solids? Oh, now it's suctioning. What a stupid game. Engine be like, your relative location. Yeah, shut up. Relative location, my butt cheek. Isn't it relative to the origin? Your origin is way down to the bottom. I would assume that the relative would be... So here, even though it's at the bottom here, the relative would mean that it's relative location to where the plunger is versus the toilet, or its route, and the route being the default scene route. So the plunger currently is at 33, but for some reason, when we start doing the calculation, it's not using that default scene route anymore as its route. It's almost like it's using... the actor location, the world location, which makes no sense. And then how is it resetting? Wait, how is it reset? Wait, how is it actually resetting? Wait. Relative location gets scaled with the actor/component scale. Maybe something wrong with that. Maybe, because it is 1.2, but it wouldn't be that big of a difference. £1,000 tank filled with salt and water. Yum. Can you drink any of the water? Are you allowed to slurp any of it? I got salt in my eyes? Oh shit, I'm missing a plunger. Plunger? 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 Oh shit. Sponge. Can I use a sponge to... This is horrific. Maybe we shouldn't have a chance of not spawning a plunger. This just seems annoying. Where's the damn... Okay, hold on. Let me look in the cargo room. Maybe there's a plunger in here. Uh-oh. Oh my god. I've got a heckin' plunger. Okay. I think the toilet works now. Yeah. Yes. Put the coal in the bag. There's no bag. We'll make up the bag. I hear the gear in the back is broken. Luckily, I got a gear right here. Put the gear in the bag. So basically, there's an incentive to not destroying your plunger. A plunger, right? So you keep a backup plunger if you need to plunge a toilet, you know what I mean? In the 12th% chance if it does not spawn a plunger next to the toilet. For whatever reason. Or maybe one of your dumb friends ends up cooking the plunger. Great, the power goes out again. That needs a much longer cooldown. I don't even know if it has one right now. I'm also seeing a bunch of errors. I don't know in what context. Access not trying to read property. Get item 1 is not a U class. Select random maintenance task. Is it trying to select something that does not exist? No, that's not what I meant to press. No, get out of here. So, something in here is causing it to be invalid. So I think what we're going to do is just put an is valid call in here. And then what we'll do is in not valid, we'll do a print string just in case. And then can we maybe... it would be nice to include which cabin is having that occur. That would be really nice. I even got a free rock that's supposed to bring me fertility. Are you fertile? Is that a weird question to ask? Sounds like a weird question to ask. Are you... Is this... It, I guess... Yeah. Things I wouldn't tell Batman. Why would you not tell Batman? Would you like to explain why you would not tell Batman? You would tell him that you're not fertile? Is that what you're saying? Or you would not tell him your fertility status? Is that what you're telling me? He ain't getting that info out of me. What would he sound like? What's your fertility like? Like, is that the kind of like what he would say? Is that? Yes. Yes. Let's go, Batman. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Skipped the dinner and went directly to the fertility question. You think anybody had like a first date and like one of their first questions was like, I guess when you're at a certain age, like, you guys think one of the first questions would be like, how fertile are you? That's a bit of a weird first question. You know, I'd ask something more like, what's your hobbies? You know what I mean? But like do you have any fertile hobby? Mix it up, put it together. All right, so the toilet is ready and ready to mingle, I think. It's ready to mingle, ready to party, ready to get it on. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Fucking employer ask question. Bro, why do employers ask this shit? I'd just be like, not working here, motherfucker, because hopefully I'm doing better shit. Anyways, I got a rock with uranium in it. And I didn't say your name, I said uranium. Don't get it twisted, you are not the main character of this world. You are just another employee. Alright, so the other thing we need to do with the toilet is that it starts flooding the area, and then poop meshes start spawning, and if you run over the poop mesh, then you slip. And then a noise plays. It'll sound like that. Damn. Plunge D's, huh? Little poop emojis. Yeah. Exactly. It's gonna be like little swirly poops. Like ice cream. Is that not gonna be a bitch to program? What? Putting little poops into game? Like the banana peel in Mario Kart? Exactly. Exactly. Oh shit, would you look at that? Well, would you look at the time? It's plunging time. They should make little ploop noises when they come out. This does need some little ambient sound when it's clogged. It currently doesn't have any. So that could be the ambient sound every time a little poop comes out. A very disgusting noise could come out. Oh, the flooding? We're not going to do actual real flooding. It's going to be like decals, and it'll basically show the status of how long you left the toilet out. And then what we'll do is a radius will slowly increase. As that radius slowly increases, we increase the potential area where poop could spawn. And that's kind of the idea there. Now, I don't know how the water... How are we going to do the water? We could do decals that we randomly spawn around. Why is the plunger going to the toilet? Listen, man. Everything in this game is slightly temporary, okay? We're not in polished territory yet. That toilet reminds me of when I caught norovirus last year's Valentine's Day. Very romantic. Why does the toilet remind you of something so traumatic? You shit with that ass? What the hell kind of pickup line is that? The polish is in like 5 years when the game is almost done. Guys, listen. The game will be completed this year. Don't... I was going to say my popular line, but I thought differently. Holding that to you, buddy? I don't know where the fuck that item went, and that's your fault. No, dude, listen. We are releasing the game hopefully this year. That's the goal, man. I just don't know when. I think we're definitely going to have to make changes to this, though. Like, some of the tasks are going to have to be not necessarily easier, but a little bit more obvious. Not obvious, but, like, we're going to have to, like... Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, we'll have to figure out ways of making it easier to know where things are. Because the computer, while great, showing which car has an issue, it does not tell you exactly where the issue is in the car. So, I'd like to figure out something there. I also don't want to make it too obvious either, but still. I heard make tasks easier. I have a very short dev story for my physics-based game. Alright, you can write it in 300 words or less. I won't read any more than that. That's my budget. I'm just kidding. I have a very short dev story for my physics-based game. Dude, I am scared about how much performance impact all of these physics objects in this game are going to be. Already having a ton of physics objects in Suit for Hire was pretty heavy enough. Like, I don't know. I have no idea how things are going to go for this project. It's going to be quite the... When I get someone testing this shit on a lower end PC, might be a big wake up call. Maybe. There might be a very big wake up call. Yeah. Not going to be fun. friendslop doesn't need performance. Listen, man, we still got to make it good. You know, just because it's friendslop doesn't mean that it needs to be like actual slop. You know, it's just part of the genre. All right, so now that the toilet doesn't fully work, we need to put the flooding and then the poops. The poops need to come out of the toilet. So the flooding could be decals. or meshes. Little meshes that spawn in. If we do meshes, we could use an instanced mesh to spawn those in. However, the poop are going to have to probably be replicated actors, I think. Now, I don't know how I feel about making replicated actors spawn in, because that might be a little, well, let's just say a little expensive. It might be a little expensive. Yeah. So I was having trouble with making fun physics interactions and gameplay, and I had a sandbox of different fun things in isolation that lasted maybe a few minutes, but no real challenge to bring the real fun to want to keep playing. While I was visiting a friend's house and watching their toddlers, I realized, what if I make a bunch of toddlers towards as gameplay scenarios? Turns out it's super fun when you connect a bunch of those things together. We're all just a bunch of toddlers, basically. I think that's my problem with the game right now, as well. I don't know. Listen, I'm just putting shit together. And then we'll see how that shit, like, works out. You know what I mean? I think the one thing is putting a little bit of some sort of satisfaction when you complete something. Some sort of, like, reward or something. I don't know. I was a toddler once. I don't remember that. In fact, in my memory, I feel like I never was a toddler, honestly. Oh, shit! Nothing more toddlery than making a friendslop game. Crimson was booted, not born. According to my mother, my birth had to be done sooner because I apparently refused to turn. So, and also the umbilical cord was around my neck. I think I was suicidal in the womb. And honestly, that explains everything. What the hell does that mean? What are you, a zombie? No. I'm just a Gen X. Depressed 24/7, you know, etc. Gen E early. Early my nuts. Wow! The juice really helped, but for me it's the thing of long-term play for me. Like one situation I was just launching a bunch of acid balloons to melt a pathway open. What the hell? That sounds cool. You made threats and demands. You are a man of culture. Fine gentleman. No, honestly, the situation sounds more like a toxic partner being like suicidal if you don't love them enough, and then get me out of here. That was me as a in the womb. Get me out of here. If you don't. And so I was gotten out of there. If anything, a very good business transaction, one might say. I got out of there quick. No, I gave my mom a lot of shit while being in the womb. Listen, I had no control over that. How the fuck was I supposed to know? Is pursuing game dev your current age cry of hell? No, it's more like I just don't really know how to do anything else. I'm sure if I figured out how to make an app, I could make like, I don't know, gajillions of dollars by just scamming people with the worst fucking product in existence, which is basically most shit coming out of the fucking app store these days, or like literally anything. And then saying, hey, look, we've attached AI to it. But I don't know how to do any of that stuff, so I'm stuck with this fucking shit. Plunging a toilet in a video game in a genre called friendslop. And honestly, I'm cool with it. Honestly, I'm kind of cool with it, you know? He's been ranty lately, hasn't he? Sorry, I've been really stressed out. I'm having a bunch of calls and shit. I hate calls. A quadrillion trillion dollars. Yes! Trees. I love trees. The trees look so good. It kind of reminds me, the vibe, you know what the vibe gives me with the flat trees? Sorry, hold on. It reminds me a little bit of my summer car. You do calls for fun in your free time? Are you fucking kidding me? I hate that shit. I hate calls. You should ragdoll when you hit the ground, like that. Okay, so we need to make it so the toilet... Water. Poop. Water and poop. Water and poop. Grim, can you code a train wreck next? Dude, that's this entire video game, brother. You're watching the entire thing. This is a train wreck waiting to happen. I don't even know how to drink water anymore. You could have it go into third person when you ragdoll so people don't get motion sick. That might make people motion sick though with the amount of camera movement, but yeah. Could. Luckily when you ragdoll, this is what happens when you ragdoll. We're in ragdoll right now. So like the camera doesn't go super crazy. It's not like the camera starts rotating and stuff like that with the movement. So it's not like a big deal. We just need some sort of on-screen indicator that you're in ragdoll. Or some sort of indicator that you're in ragdoll. First word I instantly hear is poop. Oh, you know it's a crim stream. You know you're in the right stream, right, Duck? That's literally like an indicator. Hell, even if someone else starts grabbing you, it's not even that bad either. You know, if someone grabs onto you, like still a little bit, can be a little gnarly, but like all things considered, not too bad. Because the camera still retains its positioning and stuff like that. For the most part. I know, he's not turned in the right direction. Don't you worry, we'll figure out all that animation stuff. It'll look funny, it'll look great. You know? Come with me, we're going to the library. Education! It's time to educate. And I know exactly where I'm going to put you. Alright, I'll come back later. I'll come back to get you later. Close the damn door! Okay, there we go. I watched the stream in Braille. What does the Braille say right now? Very sloppy feeling. But isn't Braille supposed to be kind of rough? It's a bunch of dots and in specific formations. How would it feel sloppy? Is there goop over top the Braille? The pumps are all moist and overused. Ew. Ew. That's kind of disgusting. All right, anyways. The Godly Plunger. You think people who write in Braille write memes or like inside jokes within the Braille, and then nobody who can't read Braille doesn't even know about the joke? And so you guys can make like inside jokes within the Braille? Dude. 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 Is the Golden Plunger a thing? No, it's just my little developer thing, so I know where to place a plunger. I think you're onto something, Krim. Insider Braille trading. Something files joke. Okay, so how are we gonna make it? So we could use nav mesh to determine where do we want to do decals for the water? Because what if decals start stacking on top of each other and then that becomes more expensive? What if we just do a masked material? Okay, hear me out. Masked material, okay? Masked material for the water. Decal, but scale it to make it flood. My only problem with scaling it is it might go in a zone in a place where I don't want it to go. So that's why I'm thinking of instance meshes instead. Well, let's whip something up. Yeah, let's whip something. Let's whip something up. Puddle. Run a real particle-based water sim. Why would we need to do any of that shit, guys? Come on. Guys, come on. Water-based physics sim. Shut... idiots. We don't need to do any of that. We just do something a little like this, you know what I mean? Right? Okay. Right? And then watch this. Okay. Wait, hold on. Watch this. Yeah. Hold on. Are you watching? Keep your eyes peeled. And then we just do a little bit of this. And then we just do a little bit of this. And then we delete the bottom face. And then here we go. We got ourselves a puddle. We got ourselves a puddle, baby. And then, ideally, maybe we subdivide the, fuck it, who cares? Subdivide the edges. Who cares? Use the Unreal Water plugin and then make the rest of your game look like shit because all your performance budget goes towards the water. I'm so confused. What's the puddle for? It's for getting slipping in it, and then your face hits an object, and then you go unconscious, and then your friends need to wake you up, and then you get grabbed by the chef monster and then turned into a sausage. That's basically the lore. Any questions? Any questions? People don't slip in puddles. That's because you're smart. Or you don't go outside. Next question. Nah, we're not going to do that. Unless there's a banana underneath a puddle. No. It's so the puddles are going to be like a visual indicator. The poop meshes, the poop is going to be the thing that you can slip on. The water is just going to be a visual effect. A visual indicator of how bad how bad your toilet situation has gotten. Well, I need to save this. Train rot, puddle, and poop. Yes. Now that's the kind of file name I live for. Toilet puddle. Right. Yeah, sure. I don't know what the UV look like. The UV looks fine. It does not look fine. Something about this is all wrong. What is the difference between all these minimum stretch, angle base? Like, why is this here? Like, why is this? Why is I don't? I hate this. Why is it in a different? Like, why is it in a different window? We hit 3K likes? How is that? How is that tweet? What the fuck? This is the funniest thing ever. Do you think by writing this tweet, a bunch of people are going to pirate the game suddenly? Hey, if anything, that's marketing, baby. It's such a goofy tweet. It's such a good tweet. What did I do now? Scotty, there was a person that joined the Discord, and they're like, I can't go in third person. And then Scotty was like, did you buy the game on Steam? And they're like, it's hacked. They're like, you're not going to get third person. And then they were just like, damn. This is all I posted. And that's getting a lot of traction. This was all I posted. Oh my god. If you're wondering why I don't see the values for likes, retweets, and stuff like that on my desktop, I actually like have my Twitter extremely restricted. I found that seeing those stats made me feel a certain way about posts and whatnot. And so I was like, okay, let's just not see any of them. Kern, what does the early access version of Paint come with? No, I was using Affinity, which is basically like Paint, but worse, honestly. Okay, I need to find this puddle. And then we gotta make ourselves a little poop mesh, you know what I mean? Okay, why did the UVs look like that? Is this a joke? Oh, you know what? I know why that happened. It's because I forgot to re-export it. There we go. Look at that. What is this old video of yours? What humble beginnings? Yes, this was 7 years ago. Yes, this was 7 years ago. Yep. Although I feel like it was 8. It's getting close to 8 years, actually. You should see my older projects. Asset flip the game? No, I modeled most of the shit in here. Except for the... Actually, no, I think I made the trees myself as well. No, I made everything in here. Actually, mostly everything. Except for maybe the landscape. I think the landscape was the one thing that is an asset. But the gun I made... The ruins I modeled. Maybe a couple of the trees I did not make. I don't remember. Looks like ass though, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, there is a lot of YouTube videos that I set to hidden that aren't even on my channel anymore. So 7 years ago is actually not the latest or oldest video, game development video on my channel. There are many others. And I mean many other videos that are much older. Let me see if I can find one of the old ones. Oh, here's this one. This was a different project. This fucking random project I was working on. I don't even know what the fuck this was trying to... What was this trying to be? I don't know. Was this using ALS? Wow. It was. Like ALS 2.0, I think, actually. We had a bounty board. Wow, so fancy. Yeah. So this is even older. Actually, no, this is around the same time, actually. Yeah, I got a lot of old videos that are set to private or unlisted. A lot. This is my almost very first video. Let me see if I can find it. It was when I was working on my infamous FPS MMORPG, I think. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. One of my first projects. Yep, this was 10 years ago. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, watch it, man. I can't believe the ALS guy gets hired by Epic when I interview. They tell me I'm not skilled enough. Weak. Oh, this was when I was like fucking around with Mixamo. I fucking hate Mixamo. Oh my god. Horrendous. Awful. Yes, I was learning many things and trying to make multiplayer games. Bare ass cheeks out? No. What? It's just two spheres. It's implied. Can you tell us how many scrap projects you have so I can feel better about myself? That one, and then the other one, 2, and then another one, 3, and 4, 5. Space Vampire Survivors, 6. The one that we made recently, 7. I don't know, like 10, maybe 11. Maybe 11. I don't know. Something like that, probably. All right, we need to start spawning our toilet puddle. I honestly, in the whole grand scheme of things, probably don't have that many canceled projects. Actually, it's probably like, maybe like, there's so much shit I've worked on that I like did not finish. I don't know, man. It's probably like 10 plus. No, not 6 or 7. No. More than 6 or 7, okay? We can't make the 6 or 7 joke because it's more than 6 or 7. Mods. Get these guys their lunches. Sandwich. Too much mayo. Shit ton of mayo. A carrot. And a juice box. Specifically cranberry juice. Like one of those healthy kinds. Is it a McDonald's kids meal? What do you think I'm trying to do? Kill kids by making them eat McDonald's? No, come on. I've already have enough in my system. McDonald's isn't real food. McDonald's honestly really is just like a guilty pleasure of just like the shit they put in that food is like crazy. It's not good for you. I am past that stage. I don't eat Tim Hortons anymore. Some people remember I used to go to Tim Hortons like every day, bro. I used to go to Tim Hortons. I'd cross the street. I'd go get a Timmy's, coffee and some other shits. I used to eat the fuck out of that. Now, I quit. I'm clean. I've been clean for years. Subway, clean for years. McDonald's, clean for years. Eats Domino's too? Well, I'd just rather buy actual good pizza rather than cardboard and acid, battery acid. If I'm gonna go for a pizza, I might as well go all in. What's the point? Otherwise, I'll just eat some mac and cheese or something in a box or something. I don't know. Where the fuck I am? Where am I actually, though? No, like, seriously. All right, so periodically, while this task is active, we want to spawn in some water puddles. Now, do we want to spawn in water puddles? Do we want to replicate the puddles? Everything sucks when watching the streamer. Everything is horrible. Okay, so here's the plan. We need to... Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll create a replicated actor of transforms. And then on rep, we'll set the instances. We? Yeah, we. I'm saying we to us. Yes, we're in this together. You motherfuckers don't know what's coming. So, instanced mesh, instance static mesh, instance skinned mesh? Should I use an HISM or a instance static mesh? I forget what the difference is between the HISM and the instance static mesh. I think the HISM has something for LODs, but I don't fully remember. Fuck it, we'll just do instance static mesh. Yeah, Thomas. I'm a computer science major, but I haven't been taught C++ yet. I'd like to make my own game and try to break in the gaming industry and try to make some ideas real. Do you recommend Unreal? What should I look for? I don't really use that much C++ in Unreal. I use a lot more Blueprint, so I guess I'm a bit different than a lot of traditional programmers would be. That being said, I am breaking into C++ a little bit more slowly. I would say look at the different game engines, their pros and cons. Be very careful about the information online about certain engines because there's people that are extremely biased. So try to find information that is just like concrete information, like what programming languages each engine uses. And then obviously look at other factors like if you want to release on consoles or something at some point, blah, 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 blah. I've only used Unreal, so that's the only one I could recommend. And I feel like that is not good information for you. So I would say look at Godot, look at Unity, look at Unreal, look at all the other options that might be out there, and come down to an assessment that works for you, right? You know what I mean? Will the OST be made by the same people that made the OST for Superfire? I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of like exploring. I'm exploring a little bit. I don't know. I have no idea. Because the thing is, the OST for this game is going to be a bit wackier, a bit more like synthy, a little bit more mysterious kind of vibe. So I don't know yet. I don't know. When I ask which audio library you use for your games, do you use Fmod or something similar? For Superfire, we use Fmod. For this game, I don't know if I'll use Fmod. I don't know if it's entirely like necessary. Because I don't need anything super complex. Now for like audio or like sound effects and stuff, I use Boom Library. Boom Library has some pretty good stuff. There's various other libraries from websites I've used, but Boom Library has some nice stuff. Yeah, it definitely depends on what kind of games you want to make as well. If you want to make 3D, that that should be a consideration to make as well. Having to restart your entire game engine by making large changes is a skill issue. That's C++ for you. Like, yeah, for me, I'm not a real programmer. Like, when someone starts bringing up really complex, like, how fast is your compiler? I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what that is. Can you speak English? I'm not a real programmer, honestly. I'm really not. What the hell fuck is a compiler? I don't even know. Like, what does it do? I don't even know. I don't know what it does. You're pretty good at blueprints as a valid form of coding? Yeah. No, I don't really care. Listen, if someone says, like, oh, you're not really a real programmer, I don't really give a shit because I don't know, I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. So. Having opinions in the game dev space is like putting a target on your back. It really is. Yo, Blues. How's it going? Or you could go the Randy route and struggle making your own engine for 7 years. Turns your code into machine code to which the computer can understand. Ah, interesting. Very cool. I just don't know how any of that shit like works under the hood. Does some fancy stuff. Randy's gone full vibe coding now. He has like 5 agents doing stuff for him at the same time. He's got employees. He's even given them names. Like I said, he's got employees. Thought that was a skibbity toilet for a second. It's just a toilet, brother. What do you mean a skibbity toilet? Brain rot, brain rot, brain rot. My recommendation is water. Lots of it. Drinking lots of water. It's good for you. My prescription was the word I was looking for. My prescription is throw your phone out the window. Don't look back. Water. To be fair, I guess this game does kind of play into some of the brain rot that is on the internet to some extent, so I guess we should lean into it a little bit. We should probably lean into it a little bit. 1% chance a guy's head pops out of the toilet? It would make for a funny moment. It could, definitely. Toilet starts attacking you. Okay, so we got our instance mesh for the puddles. Let's assign the mesh. So I actually technically want... Oh, these are some new settings, I think. Call distance. I want this to not have any sort of collision on the pond. However, I do still want to do some stuff for sound effects, so I'm going to keep these traces. So hopefully we can have like little puddle sounds when you're walking through the puddles. I feel like that'd be fun. Yes. Yes. This would be like water. I don't know if we have we have water. Would you look at that? We got water. Now we don't have any sound effects for it, but don't worry. We will. We will. We will. Don't you worry. We will. Here, base eater. Water. Yep, we're staying hydrated. Do not drink water from a toilet. Don't do that. Do not drink the water in the toilet. You will turn into a monster of some sort. You might grow an extra eye. Not beneficial, in quotation marks. And by quotation marks, I mean brackets. Don't drink the toilet water. They put fluoride in it. Whatever you... There's fluoride in the damn toilet water. Grim, did I watch any good movies lately? I, finally, I've only watched clips of this movie, but I watched the full movie for, Ungentlemanly Warfare or some shit. I finally watched the whole thing. It's, you know, it's a fun movie, I suppose. It's fun. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, I think was what it was called, or some shit. Yeah. Other than that, not really. I haven't really seen that many movies. Okay, let's do a set timer by function name. Spawn puddle. We'll loop it every 1 second. I'm trying and failing to understand C++ right now. Well, this isn't C++, but if you're doing something on your own, yeah, good luck. Yeah, C++ is a tough one. Grim, hear me out. You need to add this. All right, what is this? What is this? This better be good. My YouTube isn't loading. What the fuck is this shit? That's the most terrifying looking thing I've ever seen in my life. Jesus. That's a horror movie. That's definitely that would have stuck with me. You know, I have a magic trick. You guys want to hear my magic trick? My magic trick is that you will now be fearing sitting on your toilet for the next 3 days. Because snakes can go through toilets. Yeah, okay, now that's the magic trick. You're now going to look in your fucking toilet and you're going to be eyeballing your toilet for the next 3 days because I just told you that snakes can slither through the toilets. So can rats. Rats too, yeah. And dragons. Yeah, dragons. Yeah. Dragon D's. Yeah. Anyways. New monster for Train Rock confirmed. That shit's fucking terrifying. Talking toilet. I live in the UK. There's a higher chance of seeing dragons in your toilet in the UK. Okay, so here's the plan. We need to spawn random puddles of shit. Random puddles of shit. Do I have a thing that shows how long this task has been active for? Task timestamp. Last time this task was repaired. Doesn't current task have... No. What am I doing? Pee puddles? No, like puddles. It's like the toilet is clogged and overflowing. So the idea is like little puddles are going to start spawning around the toilet. And poop. Yes, we'll have poop spawning as well. Little poop spawning. Let's just do this. Get random location and navigable radius. Let's just do this for now. Origin will be get active location, and then the radius will just be 256. Let's just start with this for now. We'll start with this for now. Obviously, we want this radius to grow, but it would be nice to find a navigable radius as it grows outward, right? Rather than just growing the radius, because then it might find spots in the center, which is not great. Not great at all. So we might want to figure out some stuff there. But anyways, let's just do this. We're going to make a variable called puddle locations. This is going to be a transform. It's going to be an array. It's going to be replicated. Yep. And then we'll probably want to randomize the rotation. Then we'll do this. We'll do get. This is the index, right? Okay, good. And then we're gonna add instances. I think locally we should get which instance or index has been, I think we did this before. Locally we get which index has last been spawned in. Yes. We should also add a randomized scale. Random float in range. Maybe we'll just do this in the on rep or something. Oh, speaking of which, actually, this is actually supposed to be a rep notify now that I think about it. Yes, yes, yes. So we're going to add locations to this. Right? And then we need local puddle gen index. I don't know what else to call it. I don't really know. We're just coming up with random variable names now. It's getting crazy. Let's make this private. Yeah, I'm starting to use private and shit. Yeah, I do be doing that. I do be doing that. So, music and physics and training is similar. So when my friends test the build, we get serious desync and delayed physics even at average ping. Did you test and multiply? I'd love to see unreal average or bad network tests. My game is releasing soon and I'm not sure what to do. Some people suggest buying a VPS, but I'm still undecided. I use a plugin on Unreal called Smooth Sync, which helps a lot with syncing objects. And that helps a lot in terms of desync and whatnot. So if you're using Unreal, I'd look up Smooth Sync. It's like a 20, 30 buck plugin, I think. I don't remember. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I use. Okay, so I need to... How did I do this last time? I did this somewhere. I don't remember where I did this. Where the local client keeps track of which generated index it's at. And then every time it generates, it updates its index to be at the latest index. I guess what we could do is do a for each loop. This is really stupid, but hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Honestly, what we should do is a reverse for each loop. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. No, we actually, yeah, reverse for each loop. It doesn't completely solve the problem. Do you also have these issues? Or were you able to fix them? Really need some advice. Have you tested it? We've tested it briefly. We've done a few tests with the physics to see if it's working well. If you're having serious desync, what might be happening now, these are still things I'm still learning as well, to be fair, right? There might be some people in chat that are better with replication and multiplayer and networking optimization as well. You might have too many objects, maybe choking the server, and then that's what's causing potential desync or delayed physics and whatnot. Not sure, but I've been testing with average on everything for network emulation, and then we've done a few actual networking tests. So you could try like do some profiling, see what's going on there. If maybe like that's what's happening. I'm not sure. I haven't switched over to physics constraint though. That's something I have to do. Currently I'm using physics handle. And then we're calling like a constant RPCs to move stuff around as well. Because otherwise the physics handle wouldn't work. You have a video where I can see the average network test? I actually don't have any footage of testing in an actual multiplayer session yet. I think everything so far has been testing locally at the moment in terms of footage, unfortunately. I wonder if I might have some of that footage here. Oh, all of these are in single player. Interesting. But obviously this is just with network emulation, so it's not like the best judge for stuff. For the briefcases are a bit weird because they have an object attached to an object, which becomes very iffy from what I've seen, but anything that's just a simple object like this honestly is okay. Clients can pick it up and stuff. There's only one little tiny issue, which is it kind of freaks out a little bit when a new client picks it up because we set the ownership to whoever picked it up. So every time a new client picks up an object, they become the new owner of that object, essentially, so that they can have a more up-to-date version of that object. But yeah. But as far as I know, no huge desync issues. Obviously there's, you know, latency, of course, but yeah. It's also not like very gameplay reliant. Like, for example, it's not like a soccer ball where like the location of the soccer ball is extremely integral to things, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more goofy and loose, I guess. I'm making an entirely in Blueprint. I thought multiplayer required C++. Doesn't require it, but it's good to have some C++ knowledge. There's a little bit of C++ scattered in this project, for sure, like if we look here. Mostly for creating structs and modifying some things here and there. We definitely do have some stuff here for that. Not as much as we should have, though. I think once we do a playtest, then I can actually start, like, moving some stuff over to C++. So I think we do a reverse for each loop for this. So every time we do this, we're going to set the index to whatever the length is of the puddle location. Never understood people who say only C++ is the best way to go. Seems like a good structure, though. Yeah, you just use a mix. You use what you need to when you need to. And whatever works for you or your team or whatever. That's it. I don't care what other people are saying. What matters is if my game runs well, and if I'm able to add on to my game or fix parts of it. That's it. I think the best thing you can do as a game developer is stop listening to people and just learn through doing, and then by researching various things. Everybody is so opinionated, and it just gets so fucking tiring. It's like, dude, listen, I'm just gonna make my fucking game. Shut up. Okay, so our index, if it is at the current location, is this array index going to give us the current array that it's going through, even though it's going in reverse? Or is this going to start at 0? Why are the internal blueprints so messy? I know, right? This shit's ass. I feel like I'm in a fucking puzzle, like a puzzle, trying to figure this out. So this is the local integer, which becomes the array index. I think this is going in reverse. What's this? That's the other. That's the loop counter. I need to know what the array index is becoming. God. So the loop counter, this gets set by the loop counter. This is set by the length minus 1. Okay, so it's starting from the beginning. Or from the end. Okay, good. So as long as this array index is more than the gen index, the local puddle index, then we're good. Let's double check this. Because the thing is, I don't want to add instances to this that I've already added locally, nor do I want to clear all of the like, one option is clear all the instances, re-add them, but that's like ridiculous when we could instead just have a local value that we just save. So then what we can do is do length minus 1 I think all the blueprints, including materials, got messed up after an engine update. Even some of the blueprints from one of my projects got scrambled up. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Then we can add an instance at the location. And I think this is in world space, not relative. From what I can tell. On puddle, add location. That's in world space. So, spawn puddle every 1 second. Okay, so this should now start spawning puddles. Now, if it's going to be at the right Z height, I don't think so, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. Hello, please clog the toilet. Okay, thank you. Oh, shit! Dude, where did this guy come from? Guys? I don't see any puddles. Is it because I'm... Do I not get a rep notify on server side? I keep forgetting if that actually gets called. on the server or not. But it's looking a lot like it is not. I'm gonna try it with a friend in another city where we ran into significant issues. Could help to occasionally test the game with friends using a weekly or monthly test build to see how it performs in different network conditions. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I probably have a test coming up soon because we haven't tested in a while, but I test with someone who's... Last test I did was with someone who's in Michigan, so that's pretty far away. So... That being said, not a huge distance. It would be interesting to see what the gameplay experience is like with someone from, like, Europe or something. Probably not going to be the best, because it's going to probably be like 100 ping difference, so... Would be interesting to see for sure. I think we not only have to do the plunger attached. I think what we'll do is on server, we'll just add an instance in spawn puddle. And honestly, I think this is fine. I'm just going to do a getter from this index. Nope, not that. No, not whatever that was. What the hell was that? We'll do this for the server or the host. We also need to make sure that spawn puddle only gets called on the server, which I think it is because this only... No, actually this could be getting called in multiple places. Okay, so now we should start seeing the puddles. Yes, which are not really puddles, they're just meshes. We just have to position them correctly and stuff. Oh, hey, it's spawning it. Hold on. Guys, we have a bit of a leak. What the hell's going on? Is that on the right Z height? That doesn't look like it's the right Z height. Guys, it would appear we got a bit of a problem. Okay, so let's Let's increase the radius, just because I'm curious. And Zen, we need to set the location. Dude, how am I gonna tell if it, like, it's reading the nav data? Do I have to do a line trace? Damn. Am I gonna have to do a line trace down when I do this fucking calculation? I think I am. Oh. Fine. So be it. Line trace by Chanel. Actually, no. We want to do a line trace by... line trace for objects. Static. Or world dynamic, I think would be a good idea. Yeah, I think this would be a good idea. The start would be this, and the end would be this minus that. And that should be good. Now, our puddles should spawn a lot closer to the floor. Whenever it spawns, feel free to clog whenever you would like. All right. That does look very close to the ground. I don't know about you guys, but that looks pretty good to me. Although, that one's a bit iffy. That one is spawning... That one also looks a little iffy. Because we have to assume this is water. So we might have to do like multiple line traces per object. Dude, come on. Should I just make them... No, I really don't think making them translucent objects is a good idea. They should be like masked. Okay, great. Well, I just crashed the engine. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you use like a plane with a decal? Because decals, when they start stacking on top of each other, which there's a large likelihood this is going to start stacking on top of each other, becomes very expensive. And I don't want to go around testing where the puddles are going to end up so they don't intersect with another instance, which we can do. Don't get me wrong, we can do that. I'd rather just not have to deal with it. So... it's very possible that we do end up having to test anyways, because if I want this to turn out to be translucent in anyways, let's just say, yeah. Let's get started with making a material for this though. What we might be able to do is duplicate the toilet water as a base. And then we'll, instead of translucent, let's make it masked. So we'll do masked instead. Still looks pretty good. It's got a bit of a world position offset going on, which I don't think we want. So we're going to cut that out. Nice. Yeah. We could make this grow, like make the puddle grow over time using the WPO. So that could always be an effect we do later on. It might be an effect that we do later on. I don't know. We'll see. Crimson trying to do toilet water shaders before GTA 6, suit for hire on consoles and next gen consoles. I don't know if suit for hire is going to be on console. I really don't know yet. like, I don't know what value it, like, I just don't know how many people buy indie games on, especially a game like Super Hire, which is, you know, like, it's not like a crazy indie game. Just don't really know how many people would actually pick it up for the amount of time it would take to put in there and stuff. Okay, let's see. Toilet puddle. Let's see what it would look like. Yeah, not bad. Now we do want it to be like masked. I don't know if this is gonna look. Didn't you mess around with getting it on Xbox already? Yes, I have some stuff set up already for getting it on Xbox. So like we can do that 100%. But I feel like it'd be a waste if we also don't release it on other platforms at the same time as well. But I'd have to get all that set up, which is a bit of a doozy. Bit of a doozy. Let's just see what it looks like with just the material for now, and then if anything, we'll fuck around with the masking later. Does the puddle have an emissive? I think it does have an emissive. I'm gonna remove the emissive. Will the toilet water have realistic simulation asking for a friend? Well, you can tell your friend no, probably not. Probably not. Unfortunately. Let's try this. I don't know if this is gonna look good. You know what I'm trying to, you know what I'm learning? I actually don't like this dither temporal texture. Like I saw that Deadlock has kind of a dither temporal look. And I feel like I prefer their texture over this one. I don't know why. Let's see what it looks like. What's a dither temporal? Basically, it's still a masked material rather than being translucent, but it's being spawned with the tiniest little points. It's using this texture basically as a mask to make it semi-look transparent. Kind of transparent, but not really. Have you seen the new official real-time water sim for UE5? No. I don't really keep up on water stuff for Unreal. Honestly, all of the tech stuff I've kind of just stopped really keeping up with. You know what? It's got these like little black dots that I think we can fix. But that's not bad. Now, the problem comes in when you do this, like, it does, you know, it's not the best thing in the world to do. But like, look at that. That doesn't look half bad. You can still see the object behind it. Oh, wait, hold on. What if I do it at, what, the screen percentage, 70? You know what I think it is? I think... Did I turn off casting shadows on this thing? I didn't. Whoops. That's probably what that was. You should add pushing people in the furnace or off the train. I probably will. I definitely will. You'll be able to put people in the furnace. You definitely will, for sure. For sure. All right. I think the puddles are looking great. How do you create randomly generated rooms? I don't really have randomly generated rooms necessarily. So I don't really know. Alright, so this is looking good. Everything's starting to look kind of watery. I'm going to make it so when you walk into this... when you walk into this... you'll make little splashes. Little splashy noises. Yeah. So, one thing we will have to do is make these disappear one by one when the toilet is done. I think these are still probably still spawning puddles if I were to guess. They have these like material effects. I gotta fix that crash. I think that's on the side of Smooth Sync though. A lot of the UE5 ruined games videos is because it's easy to use and have lots of free marketplace access. Is this true or is UE5 hard? A lot of those videos come from fucking idiots that don't know what they're talking about and only have a surface level knowledge of literally everything they're talking about, if not no surface level knowledge at all. So all they're doing is trying to rage bait people. Actually, no, they're not rage baiting. They're conforming to people's emotions, and they're using the engine as a target to simplify creating that so they get more views. And the reality is people that watch those videos are getting played because all they're doing is playing into those YouTubers and those content creators basically just trying to maximize on rage bait. Yeah. I would say it's not necessarily easy to use. It just provides a lot of tools and things that you'd have to probably create down the line anyways in a game engine or in your game or whatever. And at the end of the day, game development is still one of the more challenging creative platforms to do literally anything in, because you're 17 different creative platforms in one. Music, art, storytelling, code is now added onto that. You know? What will happen to Jerry the Bean, or is he the player model for the full/early access release? He might get a couple changes, like some improvements and stuff, but I think that's probably going to be the character model that I go for. I don't know yet. I don't want to go with a realistic character model. It just doesn't make sense for a game like this. It also kind of... having a ridiculous character model like that, I think is perfect for kind of removing too much tension from the game. Like, if we look at the game already, like, the tone is pretty... like serious undertone, so I do kind of want it to have some ridiculous elements to it. So I think the most you'll probably get is some little like improvements, I think, most likely. Yeah, this Dither Temporal Man, I don't know how I feel about it. It might be that's MIP mapping. Oh no, number of MIPs is 1. Maybe it's because it's so low res. Is it because it's so low res that it causes it to... What are those right-facing triangles inside a sphere? On the top right of material nodes? What are those right-facing triangles inside a sphere? Oh, this one? I think that's just a preview button. So rather than you having to right-click and do start previewing, I think it's just a preview button. Learning blueprints is pretty fun. Yeah. Makes things a lot nicer, trying to learn programming and whatnot, for sure. For sure. Definitely. All right. All right. I actually think I'd prefer the non-random, but then we see these like weird pixels. The little black dots. And I have no clue why that's there. Doing 0.5 seems to improve it, but let's see. We'll only really be able to tell in action. Am I using LOD or nanite for the optimization of the meshes? No LODs at the moment because honestly, it's not like open world, so we don't really need any LODs at the moment. Most of it just gets occluded anyways. But we'll probably do some LODs in the future if we find any objects that seem problematic. Yeah, the puddles don't look perfect, but they look good. I think they just need to be animated. There is a little bit of a movement effect going on. I don't know if you guys can see that when you're like moving around. I think it's mostly prominent when it's dark. More noticeable when it's dark. Bro, the power keeps going out. I'm gonna freak out. Freak out! Do I still get the random color pixels? Yes, but not as often, I think. But definitely yes. Okay. Let's also randomize the scale on the Z. That might be interesting. Might cause some problems, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that looks good, I think. I was actually thinking of making the edges also masked. So what we might do is add another edge there. We can smooth these vertices. And then let's go to vertex paint. And let's do a value of red and fill. Set. Is there an invert button? Okay, hold on. Actually, I want to set everything as black first. And I'll select this outside, and then we'll do red, set. Okay. Chat, am I on time? You're getting fired. You may lose your job. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. Yeah. Are we getting paid? No. 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 You're not. Not at all. I think, am I doing this right? It might be the other way around. Yep. This goes here after the divide has been done. Okie dokie, I think. Okay, the divide value might be a little bit too high. Let's do 2. Tried to get Krim to hire me long ago in his 3 months top-down shooter project and told me to kick rocks. Apparently, I even told myself to kick rocks because I quit that project, or I just didn't continue with it. It would appear even I have kicked rocks. Yeah, having this on the edge, not the best look, arguably. How can I smooth it out? Because you guys see there's like a little bit of like a 1, 2, 3 sectioned kind of thing. How can I smooth that out? Anybody know? Any shader wizards in chat? No? There's got to be a way. There's literally got to be a way to do that. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do that. Jump scare. UE5 vertex color modify mask. Smooth step? Maybe. I can't even check because it's a vertex color. Did you try multiplying it by 0.02? Guys, I don't think multiplying it by 0.02 is going to magically just do anything for me, okay? I'm telling you right now, this isn't going to do anything for me. Oh, sorry, 0.02. My apologies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, would you look at that? There is a way of smoothing this a bit. I just don't remember. Or we create like some sort of blend mask. Time to speed run this video real quick. He's probably using height bump or whatever the fuck the node is called. I'm already seeing it. I can already see the node. I can see it. Which I don't really care for. I don't care for that. I just want more just a grayscale value adjustment. Use smooth step? How do I use smooth step though? Like, why is this video not loading? What's wrong with my YouTube? Dude. Yep, height lerp. Yep. All right, I'm guessing that's an AI generated response. Let's see. Let's see. Smooth step. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Fine. I'll put this in the value. I'll put that there. I imagine I might have to put something in the 0 and the 1. Let's try 0.1. Let's try 0.3. Try 0.4 for min and 0.6 for max. It's not. It just kind of like made it a bit more harsh. Let's try this, I guess. Well, I suppose. Curious what happens if we multiply a material. Nothing. Nothing? Uh-oh. It's not looking how I want it to. Try to input a value of 2 or more in the dither node. I don't know if that's gonna be a good. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if that's gonna be good. That's gonna be. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Yeah, it's just gonna make it more noisy because it's gonna start randomizing a lot more. Like it technically will kind of help a little bit, but it will get pretty noisy. All right, well, let's just see how that looks. Fuck it. If anything, maybe we just leave it cartoony, kind of low poly look on the edges. Maybe that looks better. I don't know. It just kind of creates a little bit of a hard edge. Like what we could do is I think this is how I think don't remember. Right, we probably have to divide this by like 32 or something. Wait, do I want to divide it or multiply it? Hold on, let me see if I did that correctly. Yeah, it is divide. Let me put this back into here. Let me remove the divide, actually. It's probably also not a multiply. It's probably a... I know there's something in here that could help. No, not a lerp. A... Um, which one is it? It's one of these. It's one of these blends. Might be color dodge. Blend, base, result. Aha! Now we're getting something interesting. Now we're getting something interesting. Okay. I think I did the same thing in Shoot for Hire, I think. I want to say I did. Let's see if I can use something different than smoke. Maybe Perlin noise. Let's try it out. Perlin, a little bit of Perlin noise. Why not? Honestly, I might be down to increase the vertex color edge, but let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, this is the only problem. If it starts hanging off anything, it does look a bit odd. And so I don't really know how we can check for that in the GPU. Is there a way to check for that on the GPU and do it in kind of a cheap manner? Peak, thanks for the raid. How's it going? Howdy do. Howdy do. Good, how about you? Poop water. We're making some poop water. Dude, get away from me, man. Get away from me. Yeah, we're putting in some little poop water now. Why did I remove this Gary face on the enemies? I needed to start basing other enemies off of him, and so I don't want all of them to have the same face. So I needed to remove him. See? Here's the example of our new enemy. If you run by him while he's sleeping, he wakes up. I do kind of want to make it so if you walk by him too. And then he explodes. So that's our current monster at the moment. I don't know if I'm liking the reflections on the water. I don't know if you guys like can notice how kind of janky looking it is. It really doesn't look like pooling of water. I think I know how we can fix that. Normals. It might be a case of the normals doing some weird stuff. Let's see if that might improve things a little bit. I think it did. Makes it look more flat. Oh, I am noticing actually the dither temporal is not being multiplied. So we need to multiply a value on top of it. The default is 0.5. So what we'll do is we'll multiply this by 0.5. And then everything will get multiplied. I should probably saturate that value before we go in there, just because that way we get a proper number. Okay, all right, okay. We're looking good. Now, I do need to figure out how do we delete. I don't think we can use depth fade because depth fade, if I remember correctly, only works for a translucent object. Yeah, and we're using masked. So unfortunately, depth fade is out of the question for this one. Depth fade is out of the question. Okay, yeah, dude, that's looking good. I think that's looking good. It's nice and simple. Gets the job done. It's a little... We do have that little dither effect, but now when a puddle intersects with another puddle, oh, it kind of... You can still kind of see the edge a little bit, but it, for the most part, combines pretty well. For the most part, combines pretty well. We do still see some edges, though. Are these decals? No, these are meshes. Meshes with masked materials. Which should be a lot better than decals. Should be. You can still kind of see the edges, though. It's not perfect by any means. I was hoping by we could maybe, I don't know if this is going to change anything, turn off tangent space normals. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference, though. Aha, water. Yeah, you can still kind of see a little bit of the edge. Not a huge deal. I think the bigger problem is just the kind of masking pattern that we're seeing. Which looks a bit weird. And then, of course, it floating does break the illusion that it's water as well, so that doesn't help. But not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. I think it looks fun. It makes it kind of look like the place is flooding a bit. Of course, now it would be cool to make it so it like grows when it spawns in. You could do that with some. You could do that with some GPU effects and whatnot. Uh-oh. Put it in the toilet. Hurry. How did my phone call go? Have you recovered? How's the bed? I don't have the new mattress yet. Will there be holes in the floor of the room where the toilets could be placed? That's a thing. Ideally, the radius of the toilet causing more puddles would increase, and if you wait too long and leave the toilet to be clogged for too long, a lot of the car it's in would be filled up with puddles and shit, right? So that's kind of the idea there. The next thing we need to do is scatter poop. Scatter some poop. What's the downside of water? I want it to make noise. Like, actually emit noise. So if you sprint over top the water, it might emit, like, a noise event. And then that could notify monsters. They might, like, turn towards you. And then the poop, if you run into the poop, you ragdoll. So the water you won't ragdoll, but the poop you'll ragdoll in if you slip into it. Yeah, this looks looks all right. It's not like, it's not as good as like a translucent material, don't get me wrong. Did this spawn on top of, oh my god, what the hell? It's, okay, it is spawning on top of things. This toilet is getting out of hand. How does the poop get into the game though? We don't have poop yet. The poop spawning will probably be like an actual blueprint, a replicated actor. And if you run into it, it just deletes it, but then you slip and fall and maybe you get damaged or something. No wonder the power keeps going out. That's just because we got Texas fucking power lines. We got that Texan power line system. A poop print? Dude, I want to do that. I want to make it so, like, when you slip over a poop, a little, like... You know when someone steps in poop, you can tell someone stepped in poop and they had a bad day? That's what I want to do. I want to delete the thing and then replace it with a decal that looks like they... Just because that would look so much funnier. Anyways, we need to make it so this stops spawning. Yeah, alright. Yeah, fuck you too, I guess, Unreal. That crash is just kind of getting in the way. It's just annoying. It's just really annoying. Unreal having a bad day today. I don't really know why that's occurring. It's something with smooth sync. It's causing it to crash. But I don't know. What is the crash? It has something to do with smooth sync. I haven't profiled it yet. I don't even know if it occurs in game. It might not. It's a plugin, yeah. It's the smooth sync plugin. It only occurs when you quit. I don't know if we have the crash log here. Let's see. Where is the crash log? Do we have it somewhere here? It should be right after all of this shit. Right after this as well. Wait, never mind. No. I do not see the crash here. I'd have to look at my logs. Willing to bet it's a null issue then? Maybe? I don't know. I have to look at what function is causing it and then I can figure it out from there. Not a big concern right now. Not a huge concern. Right now we're dealing with puddles and poop. Piss water and poop. That's currently what we're dealing with right now. Yes. Okay, so spawn puddle. I think we'd only want to spawn a puddle every 3 seconds. Additionally, when we complete the task, we want to stop spawning puddles. So clear timer by function name spawn puddle. The next thing we have to do is start deleting the puddles. Um, which I don't know how we're gonna do that. We could just clear all the puddles, or we clear them over time. It'd be a lot easier to just clear all of them and just delete all of them all at once. So I might just do that. For now, at least. So clear all the instances, and then additionally clear these. There we go. What does the player puddle do? Make the player slip? Wait. It's not. It's just gonna make noise. The puddles are just gonna make noise. The poop, which we haven't added it yet, the poop meshes are gonna make the ones that slip, make the players slip. The puddles will make noise, which will notify enemies, and also it'll just be kind of nice. It's just it'll play little splashy noises, you know, little splashy noises, you know, water coming out, water particle effect. Yeah. Really useless shit. Yeah. All right, anytime now. Anytime now. All right, power goes out. Okay, here we go. So it spawns every 3 seconds now instead. Alright, yeah, it just deletes them instantly for now. In the future, it'd be cool for them to like fade out or like disappear over time rather than instantly. I feel like that would look a lot nicer, but... I will. It will. Is there a plop sound when we remove the plunger from a flat surface? Yeah. I made that sound myself. I would like a better sound. Did I make that sound myself? I think I did. I want something a little bit more punchy. Something more in your face. But that's what we got. Can we put it on the furnace door, though? That's the real question. I actually don't know. I think that might break things. This plunger has a lot of things we need to fix. It is very fucking buggy. Oh, look at that. What happens if you put the important item in the fire? Uh-oh. It melts it. Some items, like the fire extinguisher, I'm going to make it so it explodes and actually minuses fuel. So it deters you from throwing the fire extinguisher into the fire. But hey, if you do melt something that you shouldn't melt, then that's on you. Did this toilet clog again? Because I'm seeing puddles. It's not showing that it has... Did I forget to set the material? You know what? I think I did. Where is that? It's the height of the water line is wrong. Where? Yeah, we need to reset the water line height. Or reset the health, actually. I think that's the problem. So right now our test is... Actually, do this just on server. Only the server should be calling this. We need to unclog the toilet and then see if it clogs again, and then if the water line goes back to where it should be. Let me see if any puddles spawned. Yep, we got a puddle there we can test. I don't think we're seeing the effect of the plunger going in and out, so we might have to fix that again. This damn plunger. Is there going to be a bathroom train car for these toilets? There will be bathrooms in a variety of train cars. This one will have a toilet. So I'm going to cut this and add a wall, probably maybe here. And then there'll be a toilet here. I feel like it doesn't really make sense that this vent goes here, right back to, but anyways, whatever. Who closed the door? That was creepy. Did I close the door? That was kind of creepy that that happened. The door just kind of closed itself. Okay, let's see if the toilet clogs again. Oh, yeah, there we go. The water line's back. Okay, it was just the health. I bet you we can probably... I cannot reattach. I cannot reattach the plunger. Oh, because there's a do once here. Right. Which is kind of stupid, but whatever. Great, so I gotta reset that do once. Reset plunger insertion. Yeah. That's it. That's the function name. That's the function name. Wait, where did I call that? Oh, reset spawn for plunger. Reset plunger insertion. Yes. No, don't look at that. Listen, I don't know what else to call it. I literally don't know what else to call it. I don't know what else to call it. So it's going to be a weird name. Reset plunger insertion. I don't know what to say. It's just, listen. I'm just the messenger. Okay. Okay. Yep, power goes out. Yep. Toilet next. No, okay. No. There we go. Toilet is next. So, yeah, I can see that the plunger is not... The effect, I think, has the wrong numbers. It's just like when we change the relative location stuff. We get fucked up a little bit. Okay, now we should be able to reinsert the plunger. It's playing the completed noise constantly. What in the world is going on? Health is more than 0. We set the health back to 100. So what the hell's going on? Oh shit. This is not correct. Man, this relative location is actually just a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah, it sounds a lot like it's playing the completed sound over and over again. All right, I got some looking up to do to see what is going on here. Sometimes multiplayer coding is so weird to me. I'm calling a function in game state, and that calls a server function in game state. Server function game state, and I get with no owning connection. Like, what do you mean no owning connection? It's the game state. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still figuring all this stuff out too, Peak, to be honest with you. I've been hit by that before in an object that I was confused about why I was calling it that in that object. I don't remember what it was though. Yeah, I gotta look again to see what it was. What's the absolute best way to learn blueprints? I don't think there is an absolute way, to be honest. Just use it. Make a bunch of stuff. Learn. Make mistakes. Fuck up a bunch. So then you learn what not to do. And what to do as you use it. I don't think there's an absolute best way. I think anybody who tells you that there is a absolute best way is a fraud and a liar and a piece of shit. Because really, realistically, there's no real best way. Because one, everybody learns differently and in different ways. My usual typical suggestion is make an interaction system. Start with an interaction system and then build out from there. That's what I would say. Because then you can build outward. And kind of go from there. Yeah. The kind of escalating. No, I just don't think there's a like best way to learn it. Because obviously, the other thing is also considering what you want to make as well. But yeah, I would say, for me, I'd say what I would recommend is just making an interaction system, because then you can like get more complex with it as you go along. And then you actually maybe start making things like opening doors and little things like that, little things that you might end up using in the future, right? So make things that you want to make too, is what I would say. Don't make things that other people tell you to make. Like, oh, you should start with Pong or Tetris. Like, sure, you can remake a game or try to remake a game. That's a good advice in some respects. So yeah, you could try remaking a game. Gives you directions of what to do. If I get hit with a no owning connection, I just reroute the function to a new player controller function, which then calls on server on the player controller and back to the original blueprint, but it makes no sense to me, and sometimes it works. Yeah, I gotta say that part with multiplayer really annoys me, because it just becomes a big, like, yeah, the code becomes extremely spaghettified and almost becomes a lot harder to read. I think that's one of my big quarrels with trying to do multiplayer. Everything just becomes 10x harder to read just because of the nature of it. Having to do a server call that then calls a multicast call and then do blah 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 blah. But then you need to specifically do a call on the player controller because the object might not have ownership. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, you know, just random instance. It's, yeah, multiplayer. That's, I think, the complication of multiplayer is just the amount of stuff going on. Oh yeah, and async, you could have a packet that goes through, which is information that you might have required earlier, so you have to be very careful of that. And then that could occur on a client, but not occur on the other client. This just, when it comes to multiplayer, there's just a lot more stuff to consider. A lot more stuff to consider. Yeah. Yes. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat some food because I'm kind of hungry. And I'm kind of hungry. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm really sad about my coffee. I might make another one. But the thing is, if the milk went bad, then I don't know. I think the milk went bad? Dude, I don't even know what it was. Yeah. Thanks for the stream. Goodbye forever. That sounds extremely ominous. Are you okay? Don't answer that. I'm not your therapist. What happened to your coffee? I don't know. It just tasted like puke a little bit. I have no idea what happened. Anyways, bye.